Hello and welcome to IB Times TV. I'm Sally Turner, joined here today with Amanda Remling to discuss the mid-season finale of The Walking Dead. Amanda, a bit of a jaw-dropping episode last night. So what exactly happened with the governor and his crew?
Everything. Okay, so what happened was the episode before that ended with the governor finding Michonne and Hershel in the woods. And so the episode this week picked up with the governor going back to his camp and trying to convince them that they need to, just take over the prison. So he had them going for a little while, and then he's like, oh, and by the way, I also captured these two people from the prison. So his people were a little thrown off, but in the end they decided that they wanted to go along with it and, take over the prison because, they have a fence there, they're safe from the walkers, and as he kept telling his people, he's like, we're dying every day. But what he didn't tell the people is that they're dying every day because he's slowly killing them off. So a little catch there.
And 3 of the main characters did die last night. There was a lot of bloodshed. So what does this mean for the second half of the season?
Oof, it's going to be rough. So one of the first kills was Megan, and that was like the governor's adoptive daughter. He kind of took her in. Nobody asked him to take her in, but he just felt like that was like his daughter after he lost Penny. So we lost Megan to a biter that was like buried under the ground. So for him, the governor's gone now. He was one of the second kills of the night. And the final kill was Hershel, which was awesome because the governor chopped his head off. Like first sliced it, and then Hershel was on the ground dying, and he just kept going at it until Hershel's head was severed. So coming up, we're going to see like Maggie and Beth really struggling to deal with the loss of their father. And he was, Hershel was just such a strong foundation in the prison. He helped Rick turn around after he had his tough time after losing Lori. So he was kind of like the moral compass of the group. And so we don't know is the whole group going to fall apart now that he's gone? Can Maggie and Beth, really pull through? It's going to be interesting. And Rick now also, it's the whole deal with baby Judith. We saw him fall apart when he lost Lori. Is he going to fall apart now that he can't find his daughter?
And what's going to happen to the prison? Do you think it will ever be a safe place again?
I don't think they're going back. As Rick said during the episode, if we fight, he's like, we're going to fight back. He wasn't just going to hand over the prison to the governor. And basically the whole thing with the prison is that it's not really the building itself, it's the fact that they have this fence surrounding it, and that's keeping out the walkers. So without that fence, if that fence goes down, it's really useless. It doesn't matter, how much supplies they have inside because they can't go outside. The walkers can get in. It's not really a safe place besides the fence holding it all together. So we saw the governor plow it down with a tank, and everybody, fled. There's people, leaving the prison on a bus, everybody else running. So I think they're going to have to find a new place to go.
And moving into the second half of the season, what do you think is going to be the biggest threat?
Oof. Some people are still sick. So you have, the sick people out in the wilderness, unable to really fend for themselves because, they're just still weak. We have the group right now separated. I think that's going to be a big issue. Can they, find each other again? At the end of season 2, we found them being forced to flee, Hershel's house. And what they had was like a plan set up so that the way they would all meet up back on the road where they had left Sophia. Mm-hmm. Do they have that this time? We know that the bus left, but do they have like a meetup ground? So, Maggie is separated from Glenn. Hopefully baby Judith is still alive and just separated from Rick and Carl. But, Daryl's with Beth. We don't know where everybody is. So I think it's going to be getting everybody back together, maybe encountering more groups like the governor, but now that he's gone, he's not a threat. The other thing is just we're back to the walkers again. First it was like, fear the dead, fight the living, or fight, maybe it was the other way around, but everyone was afraid of the living, and now we're going to go back to, I think, fighting the dead.
Back to the original threat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Thanks, Amanda.
You got it.